Today we will be discussing one of the most complex characters in the RDK Chronicle Universe. Goes by the name of Tromonja. Tromonja was introduced into the Chronicles after Roach had came back from the afterworld. Now before we discuss Tromonja, we must first know how the first three places operate. The three places you go when you die in the RDK Chronicle Universe. Now first you have the afterworld. This is where people who live their life righteously with good deeds ended up going. It is like the heaven of the RDK Chronicle Universe. Then you have the IP. It is the infinite pain. This is like the hell of the RDK Chronicle Universe. This is where all the evil and all the demons end up. And then you have the abyss. To end up in the abyss, you have to be much of a multi-dimensional threat or a time-traveling threat, or just you're in a more evil category than the ones who were just bad and got sent to the IP. But the abyss is a much smaller amount, which is inexistent. When you go to the abyss, there's no existence until the new Essentials Origins that came out with Warbuck, but we'll get to that in a second. Now there have been 3 tri-dimensional openings in the saga. First you will have Del Toro escaping the IP. Now every time somebody escapes the through the tri-dimensional portal, it creates a rift, which means it will create a rift in all 2 other places. So it will be a slight rift. Let's say you get one in the IP, there will be a slight rift in the abyss and the afterworld where people can escape. But the biggest hole will be in the IP. So through these 3 situations, first you have Del Toro escaping the IP. That was episode 43 of the Chronicles. Then you have Roach escaping the afterworld. This was witnessed in 42 of the Chronicles. And then in the most recent episode of the Essentials Origins, Warbuck had escaped the Abyss. Now, it is a complicated story to how Warbuck even ended up in the Abyss, or even how he was able to get consciousness when millions others have not able to accomplish that task to even attempt to escape. Back to Tromonja. Tromonja is an entity that is sent out to send people back to the dead. Anybody that has came through these tri-dimensional portals, it is his job to send them back to wherever they have came from. Now for unknown reasons, Tromonja must go in a certain order. The good must go in before the evil. This is a rule that he has not displayed why he has gone by this rule, but this is how he works. So at first he was chasing the people from Del Toro's escape out of the IP. And before he was able to send all those souls back, Roach has escaped out of the afterworld. So now before Tromonja could put anybody back to the IP, he must first return those to the afterworld. And now that the abyss has been opened up by Warbuck, there is even a longer list of what Tromonja must do. So Tromonja's list goes as far as Roach, the Reaper himself. He must still find Del Toro. Now Warbuck's a part of the list. And the thing about Tromonja is, if anything, legend has it, if anything happens to Tromonja, that the executioner comes about. Now that's a whole nother story for another one. But they say once you see the executioner, it is too late. That's how quick, powerful he say he is. But that's a story for another day. Today is about Tromonja. You make sure I'll check him out in the season 3, and he may also end up in the Essentials series. So watch out for him.